to lean in.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to the final episode of The Lean for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I know y'all was scared. Y'all was like, final episode. Oh my God. No,
Well,
final
it
episode
may be.
for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I'm here with, all the panelists minus Chad. Chad had to work his other job tonight, his, real job. So he could not be here, but he's probably either watching or probably will come in the chat later. But we have Antonio, we have Shantae, Jamie, myself. We've been here all season. And we're here to talk about again the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. The reunion part 3 just went off. It was a super finale, is hour and 15 minutes. In which I was annoyed for an hour and 14 minutes. um, not just because of some of the stuff that was going on in the reunion, but also because, me personally, I will say it's unfortunate. But not only is it the end of this season, but it's also the end of a housewife because Monica, as you may know, has been allegedly, they said that she will not be returning, fired, whatever way you want to put it. She's not coming back. So, we had some discussion in which I'm not going to say I'm surprised because, you just never knew how this was going to go. So, with that being said, Jamie, Antonio, and Shantae. Start with Jamie. How are you? How do you feel to be at the end of the season, Jamie? Another season.
I will say this is the first season since season 1 that I do not feel drained at the end of this season. Mm-hmm. Like it didn't feel like a chore having to recap this season. So thank you, Monica. Next season, keep me off the damn panel. I'm good.
You want to be off the panel?
I'm good.
Oh my God! Y'all heard that? Y'all heard Monica's leaving?
Ask me back though. Ask me back though. Ask me back though. I just want to review the contract. I want to see what the terms are.
Jamie said, "I want the option of."
I want the option of return or maybe. Let's see. Very candy about it.
Since they bring it on bloggers and stuff like that, maybe we could all take a stab at the show. I'm just saying.
Antonio's a stalker. Antonio's a stalker, so he'd be good.
Antonio, how are you feeling?
Well, that's something you never have to worry about me doing to you.
I said 3 times. Antonio, how are you?
I'm trying to answer. You keep interrupting me.
I know I'm not. That's not.
You just interrupted me again. I'm trying to say.
Okay,
I'm good.
Shantae, how are you?
God,
how are you,
Jesus
Shantae?
I'm happy to see y'all, but I'm sad to see Monica go. I don't want her to go.
Yeah. Okay, well, listen, make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Again, this is the final recap. So this is the last time you'll see us 4 or 5, including Chad, together. Given that there's a next season or whatever, apparently there is. So if we decide to recap it, we'll be back for that. So as I mentioned, we know that Monica's not returning, but that's not what we're really here to talk about. We're talking about the damn, the review. And there's a lot to discuss. And so last week's episode, was mainly about Mary. I was very happy for Mary because Mary was very, she was there, she was present, and she was leaned in the whole reunion of last week. So this week, they come back and Mary is still there. They start off with a segment about all the games and that they've played, but basically all their games turning into drama. And they show like the clips, and Lisa and Monica start their round 50 of their fight because Monica tells Lisa that Lisa tells Monica that she is not good at arguing. And so they go back and forth. And then we get into Lisa about her glam. I actually forgot about Lisa freaking out about her glam when she had to wear that horrible outfit she didn't want to wear. And so she basically says that she's had glam, her style makeup artist or whatever on a retainer since 2019. Mary says that's very insecure of her, that she would need glam and cannot do anything without glam. They start by showing Monica mocking Lisa. Of course, she hates that. But they also mock Whitney. And I don't know what happened, but it kind of shut Whitney up after that because I don't think she really liked it. But they mocked her. And then they also get into a comment from Mary that she made on Watch What's Happening Live about Heather in her Gucci confessional look, saying that she wasn't sure if it really was Gucci because Gucci would not make that in her size. So she clears it up. Heather does say that Mary talked about it to her and mentioned that she cleared it up and said that she was not fat shaming, and that she says that Heather looks great today and that she should be shaming her. So they send Mary off. before they send her off, they do ask her about her, being with the group, and she just basically says, if she's accepted within the group, and Whitney speaks and says that, well, she just was always afraid of disappointing Mary. Not that she was scared of her specifically, but she just was, didn't want to disappoint her or whatever. Meredith says that her and Mary have had words before, and so maybe she could show them how to navigate in a conversation with Mary. And I'll start with Antonio because we don't want to cut him off. You go ahead and go first.
I mean, I thought this was, I guess, a lighthearted way to go into something that was going to be, the last segment was going to be kind of heavy with the whole, discussing reality of Aunties and then what happened with Heather and the black eye. So I thought this was good. Mary still continued to handle herself extremely well. Especially, I was kind of worried a little bit when they brought up the whole, her what she said about Heather and the size 14 Gucci. I was like, how is Mary gonna handle this? But she handled it, pretty well. And she was like, kind of like, Heather was making her know it because Heather looked good. This was cool. I didn't necessarily need that segment because I was ready to get into the meat, and this was a lot of potatoes. So,
Shantae?
I thought it was really interesting that Whitney said she was kind of scared of Mary, scared of disappointing Mary. And there was an interview that came out saying that actually the whole Salt Lake City franchise was cast around Mary. Like the producers or whoever heard about Mary's story first and they wanted her. So actually, she's the original queen bee of everything. So now knowing that Whitney and it seems like the other girls also still do respect Mary in a lot of ways falls in line with that origin story of Salt Lake City as like basically Mary's show, Mary's house. So kudos to Mary for starting it all, and she did very well with the deflecting from the fat shaming thing. And it was cute when she said, actually, Heather, you're putting me to shame because you look so good. It was very, very first lady of the church. Take notes, Giselle. But yes, it was nice.
You're a liar, Mary.
You know damn well I don't look good. I mean, was Mary being shady? Yes, but was Mary lying? No, because after that comment on Watch What Happens Live, Heather even said, well, technically Gucci did make this, but it's custom. It was 2 corsets sewn together to make one. So like Mary didn't lie on her. But very good for Mary being political and answering that question with a little pivot and a turn. Because we all know Heather has such low self-esteem that she will accept any crumbs like a seagull at a beach. So good job, Heather. You finally got your compliment, Mary Crosby, and it will be the last time she gives you one.
Not a beach seagull.
Okay, so then we'll get to I mean like where it really starts in the reunion. So this is where what's his name, Andy feels like Monica has not really had a chance to speak, so he gives her the floor, and he just basically asks her, okay, what is her involvement? Is she reality Batiste? And all these questions related to the Instagram page. And so she says that it was she started working with these individuals or people because she's very clear saying that it's not a one person show on that channel. I mean, on that channel, on the Instagram. And she said that basically this is after she had already given her statement. And the purpose of it was to expose Jen, kind of consistent to what she's kind of been saying since the Bermuda episode. And so they asked Heather if there was anything on there about her. And so she pulls up, I mean, they show all these things about her being called a tranny something and Shrek. And so Monica interjects and was like, we were posting things that were being said, but we weren't saying them. In other words, like we were trying to help you see that this person is a bad person to you. It's kind of what she alluded to for herself. And so then she makes a comment about it's being reality Batiste too because the first page was shut down. Heather says it was shut down because of the cease and desist. She says no. Monica says no, that was not the reason. And so basically they go into this whole debate about how she's truly guilty of it in terms of She basically says that she didn't write these things, as if someone else wrote them and she just posted them. But they're saying, well, girl, you're just as guilty because you were behind the page. You did all these things, right? Heather makes a comment and says that she does not deserve to be on this platform. And then this is where Monica pulls out her burn book, and Heather and Lisa look very uncomfortable. It's like, as if they're about to walk away because they're like, oh no, we have kids, we have family. I'm not going to do this with her. And it's like, no, wait. So like, we get into the actual burn book. Any thoughts on anything Monica said about her involvement, about Heather, and the comments about, that were reposted about her, the Shrek comments, I don't even want to say training because training is a very derogatory term anyway. But this is what they were saying on this show, so I'm just repeating it in that way. Jamie,
this is where Heather lost me. She didn't shut up long enough to actually listen, and she's being willfully ignorant to the fact that Monica is trying to explain, like, yeah, I was involved. Monica never denied that she was involved. Monica said I was involved. We were sharing stuff. Multiple people were involved in this. I got pissed at Monica because if I was her, I was like, you're asking me all these questions. Why are you not asking Tanisha, your hairstylist, a woman who you employed for multiple years, who also worked this page? Where are you getting all this content from? And none of the other ladies seem to be wanting to ask Heather that. It's was Monica sneaky? Absolutely. Did Monica insert herself into Jen Shaw's life? And then once Jen Shaw turned out to be a really crappy person, did she turn on her? Absolutely. Is she wrong in that aspect? Not a damn bit, because it seems Monica's the only one with balls big enough to do what these other ladies were scared to do. The whole theme of this episode was Heather defending Jen Shaw at every turn. She kept, bringing up opportunity to try to make Jen Shaw look like a victim to Monica. And I'm like, Jen said these things. Reality Von Teese was reposting these things because your dumbass was still friends with this lady. You were still going on trips. You were still kikiing. You were still crying about losing a friend. Like, what's not clicking with, like, I don't, Heather lost me. She's been a lot of things over the years, but she's actually quite possibly one of the stupidest women I've ever come across on TV. And her and Lisa both don't shut up long enough to let anybody else explain anything. And that's why they don't know anything. Every year they come back looking dumb and dumber.
Shantae?
I just feel like Heather again was overplaying her hand. Like, yes, she did the whole reveal, but she wasn't really listening to what Monica was saying. And that's what Mary was really begging them to do at the end of the last part. And it just seems like they're going after Monica in such a way that it makes you kind of be on Monica's side even more, because they're just showing themselves to be a little hypocritical. And then even the fact that, they were saying, well, you're posting these evil things about us, and she's saying, hey, I'm just reposting things to expose Jen. And yes, it's repeating negative things about you, but the source is Jen, not us. When they were trying to make it seem at first that it was Reality Von Teese that was creating the negative things, So I thought that it did just create this whole just talking at a wall, going nowhere conversation, because Monica was trying to shed light on the situation, but Heather and everybody else was just too angry to try to hear anything,
Tonio?
I was waiting on my name.
Give me my cue. Give me my cue. Line, please.
But no, I agree with both Jamie and Shantae. I think that Heather, as well as Whitney, knew what they were doing when they wouldn't allow her to speak, because I think they were kind of nervous, especially Heather, were kind of nervous about what may come out of her mouth or what questions she may ask that Heather would have to answer. So that's why I thought that they were so gung-ho about not allowing her to really get a full sentence out. Heather, she to me proved this reunion. It proves that she is an extreme lame. She's weak. She's tired. and she just doesn't have a backbone or any personality of her own. It's so sad to see such a lady who is a boss, but yet she has the mentality of an extreme peon. I hate it, and I don't like her, and I want her gone as well.
Mm.
No, I agree. Yeah. And I tweeted it from the IG page. It was me.
Oh.
It was me. If anybody's wondering who ran it today, it was me. I did.
It was me.
'Cause I agree, and I'm gonna get more into Heather later. I'm gonna give her. I'm not giving her grace, but I'm gonna let her slide to this last segment I want to talk about. But so as I mentioned, this is where the burn book was revealed, and like I said, Heather and Lisa were just like about to like leave. They were just so. I think Andy thought they were gonna leave, but they were just to me putting all the dramatics. So I will say the book came out, and the book it really didn't help or justify Monica because she started out by saying with something with Andy and jokes about herself, and we all know what a burn book is. Monica, if you're watching, we're not slow. We all watch Mean Girls, okay?
We get it.
So I don't think we need an explanation as to what a burn book is and the purpose is. It's really meant to be messy, and if you're gonna show a burn book, it should have been some mess, or it maybe helped to vindicate yourself, but you just made yourself look like just is just kind of childish, in my opinion, right? So Andy is not on her side. But in the book, it just shows she basically took all the posts that were on the page and put them, I mean, on the Instagram page and put them in the book. I guess she thought her book would sell more than Heather's, so she put it in a book, a picture book. And she talks about the ladies following the page, and they showed this DM from Angie where she's praising. I can't think of exactly what it was, but it was something that came out about Jen. And this is the second time they've shown Angie actually being like not in cahoots, but like being very happy about something from the page. But it's kind of getting like glossed over. Because at the same time, I mean, the rest of the ladies, they follow the page, but she seems to be the only one that was actively like, yes, because I mean, obviously she had her issues with Jen last year, but I guess they're gonna skip over that. Maybe it'll come back in season 5. I don't know. And so then they talk about her being Monica being their friends versus being on the show, and she said that she thinks that two things can exist at once, and that she would have liked both to happen. And then they talk about her plotting to be on the show, and Andy's like, well, plotting to be on the show is not a crime, because Lisa's like, it's a crime to do all of this page, and Andy's like, Lisa, stop, it's not Lisa. She did nothing wrong in that capacity, and so he shuts her up. And so then Lisa says that she got a video from the page, and from this is also how Monica knew that she met up with Snoop Dogg, because she was, I guess, running behind Jen and stalking her as well. But Monica says that actually came from Jen Shaw. And they talk about her setting up the security cameras in Jen's house. Monica says that she would watch the cameras sometimes because it was her cameras, and she didn't see anything wrong with that. And so she makes a comment. It was just like, you're more mad, at Jen for throwing stuff, but then throwing things at human beings, which kind of shows, again, another point. And I don't understand why they're so mad. But then, Lisa makes this dig at Jen and saying, like, kind of, we said the same thing. You got 4 kids. Why are you running behind somebody as somebody's assistant and making somebody's security camera, things like that? And they get into another screaming match from there. So I'll stop there and get you guys' thoughts. Antonio, what do you think?
Say his name.
That burn book. That burn book was crazy. She shouldn't have never brought it out. She shouldn't have wasted her time doing it. Like, I'll be honest, after Monique season 5 binder, like she had set the hype for Receipt so high that no one should have tried to create anything beyond after that. So just leave that alone. I think it was lame. It didn't help her. She initially said it was a receipt, so I'm thinking it was going to show how some stuff came about, and maybe it did, but the way Andy was talking, like, it was just like she just printed off stuff from that Instagram page. In regards to Lisa, was on my nerves as well, like the whole time. I had to almost block her out a little bit. It was a lot. And I still don't, even up until this point of where we were within the reunion, is like, are we gonna really get to the bottom of anything? I do applaud. Well, I ain't gonna say I applaud her, but because what she did wasn't good. But I think to me, Monica was being as honest as she could be at that time. But I just don't think. I think that they want to put everything on her instead of allowing her to really go in depth about who did what and who was involved. But like Meredith stated, it was like almost like they didn't care. They kind of had the person there that they needed to place the blame on, and that's what they were. That's what they were going to do. And every time they said Tanisha's name, they bleeped that out. So I'm wondering if she sent them like a cease and desist or something like that.
Maybe so.
This a couple of things. The burn book did not do what Monica thought it would. So at the end of just that, seeing this burn book and the book of receipts fail miserably. If I was any of those ladies, I'd be like, is she really the mastermind? The solo mastermind behind a shady Instagram account? Like, can this girl really do all of this by herself? But I think, in my opinion, what the book should have been, she printed up all of the basically the screenshots of everything Reality Von Teese had done. And Andy was like, girl, nothing is going on in this book. Had I been Monica, I'd been like, exactly. So I don't understand what y'all are sitting up here crying about. Y'all are looking at all the content that has been posted. Andy's looking at it saying, girl, this is absolutely nothing going on in this page. So what are y'all mad about? What's going on? Throughout this entire thing, Heather seems to be the only one that was showing stuff that was negative about her. And it wasn't even negative about her. It was stuff that was showing Jen Shaw in a negative light that just happened to be talking about Heather. Nothing else that got brought up had anything to do with any of the other ladies. There was no bullying. There wasn't even anything about Lisa. Like, I feel like Monica was ruder to Lisa on the show than she was on Reality Von Teese. So I don't understand why Lisa kept flapping her gums for an hour and a half. Like, I don't even think these women know. These women are just like, at this point, they won't let this lady talk. They don't want to believe anything that she says. But then when she doesn't say, now they're saying, well, you need to explain yourself. We need a line. It's like, girl, just shut up. Like, go do something and let me do this. What's the point of being here? Monica is one of those people that she doesn't do well when confronted because she absolutely goes to 10. And in a situation like this, I would have preferred her to allow them to yell, cackle, give them a minute, and then continue, like, because Andy was on her side. Andy wanted her to explain. I would have played into that, just been like, Andy, I'll continue whenever they shut up, because she wasn't able to explain anything properly. And that was the annoying thing.
Yeah.
True. Shante?
Actually, I thought Lisa did well in that segment, especially when she was like, I know where you got that line about Snoop Dogg from, and just exposing the fact that Monica was probably listening in on Jen's conversations with her friends and kind of creepily looking into her house and home. And, you know, the whole stalking thing came up later, but Lisa was the first one to call her out and say, you know, some of those conversations that you were revealing, it's showing the sinister side of Reality Von Teese. Like, there were recordings that were sent, which she claims came from her cell phone, but that conversation with the Snoop Dogg comment, I do believe, Lisa, that Monica forgot that she heard it while listening to Jen, because her and Lisa were like oil and water. I'm sure Lisa wasn't telling her those things, you know, about Snoop Dogg or about her, you know, her life in that way, especially since Monica had been calling her superficial and those things. So Lisa, you know, calling her out on that, I thought was really powerful. And I also liked Lisa's question, you know, saying, well, why didn't you lead with the Reality Von Teese, you know, confession? And Andy even backed her up and was like, yeah, you led, you know, saying that you slept with your brother. She would have gone further with the ladies if she did say up front, hey, you know,
she would not.
I have this other side.
Absolutely not.
At least they wouldn't say that she deceived them like that, you know. So
they still would have.
I did think Lisa did well in this segment. I think she did better than Heather for sure.
But how would Lisa have known that what Jen was discussing in her home, like how would Lisa have known that? Like, how did she know that? Oh, you got it from her security cameras. Like, I don't know, that like those comments or things like that kind of makes me think that people knew more than
Tanisha.
what they were, what they were actually letting on. They knew more than, or they knew, and they also knew it sooner than when it came out on the show. That's what I kind of think. But,
I think in the moment, Lisa didn't know where she got it from. She's like, I've never said that to you. But then
I mean, I
after it
know,
came
yeah.
out, yeah, that Monica, put the recordings about Jen Shaw out, then Lisa was like, oh, she probably was listening and had, seen us talking about it. So I
Snoop Dogg
actually think
coming
Lisa
like,
ate a
what?
little bit.
Lisa
Yes,
Lisa
it's
didn't
like,
eat
why am I
nothing. You
eating?
can look at her arms
She
and
ate
tell
a
she
little
didn't eat
bit. She
nothing.
ate
She did
more than
not.
the
Ain't
other
nothing.
girls.
She
She
probably
eat
had a
more at
little.
McDonald's.
She probably had a little Taco Bell. That's about it.
It's
That's
a little
all.
crunchy,
All she had.
soft and crunchy.
Yeah. Now this is where things get a little interesting, especially the last part. So in continuation about the videos, she talks about they show these videos, and that's crazy that she pulls out one little possible receipt of a book, and they all squirming, but they got like a million things of receipts and all type of videos and audios, and she just sitting over there like, Jimmy, she's explaining herself, but she ain't about to get up and leave. And so she talks about, the FBI sending her over there to see if she was drinking and driving.
Absolutely.
And the ladies just fall out. Everybody is
You
cracking
just made that up.
Everybody was just like, so you went over to her house to see if she was drinking and driving? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, ooh, Monica. I'm like, girl.
To catch her.
She
Like,
tried to
you are
clean it
not.
up, though. She tried to clean it up.
They're like drinking and driving in her home.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Around her
Maybe
property.
you know what? Maybe she thought that because, like, when I go to brunch, I'll make me a little roadie toe and I get in the car.
Okay.
So maybe she thought she was like,
Like
let
your
me get a
little
little roadie toe.
Togo. Yes, it did.
Yeah, I don't know what she tried to say, but I was so side eyeing her at this moment again, like, okay. But then she, she again makes a comment, like why they coming for her more than they did for a criminal, of more shots at them having the energy for her, but not at Jen, right? And I feel like that's what she was thinking the entire time. So then Andy, kind of switches the gears and is just like, okay, well, why do y'all care if she drove by our house? And so Heather, she tries to explain. It was just like, why we want somebody around like that raises red flags, and basically everything she did, and the lies and the page. These are all the reasons why she cares. It's less about her going around somebody's house and snooping around or whatever, stalking, whatever term you want to use, but it's more about the red flags she showed to us, and all these things led to this point. Heather says in her exact words, she is not iconic. She says she is not iconic. And Lisa says that Monica is a bully. Monica says Lisa's a bully. And meanwhile, Heather is going on her little spiel, but Lisa and Monica are going at it kind of like on the side because, Lisa just won't stop talking. And so, Heather continues to speak on bullying and all the moments and just feels like, she's not iconic, and we need to focus. We need to get rid of people like her to focus on bringing on quality housewives for all housewife mankind. And this is, she said, we need to bring the sisterhood back to the housewives and get rid of people like Monica because she is tearing it down.
She said she made this my worst year on Housewives. I'm like,
and Lisa blurts out, y'all brought her on knowing who she was and what she did, and that she was behind a page. And Monica, this is why I think Monica really decided they were going to bring her back, because Monica says, well, I told them in casting that I was part of this page, and it was like, really? She's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, no, if you would have said that, you wouldn't be here. And
I was like, Andy, you a damn liar. They absolutely would have.
I was like,
they absolutely would have. He was like, damn, girl, you're not supposed to tell them.
I was just like, I don't think that you did that, Monica, but
I think she kind of did, though, for real.
I think she did.
You think she told them?
I don't think she may have come out and be like, yeah, it's this page, it's called Reality Von Tees and blah blah blah. I felt like she may have mentioned something about it, and I feel like if production thought, oh, this will be good, we can kind of get away with this.
Okay. So y'all think
I
so?
can see
Okay, so I
them.
see a comment, and you guys in the chat, let us know. Do
I don't
y'all
think Andy knew.
that production knew more than they're than leading us to believe?
They
Yes.
always do. They always do.
So you mean to tell me they also knew that Jenny was a racist, and they knew that Jen Shaw was a fraud lady?
I mean,
Well,
probably.
everybody knew that Jen was potentially fraud. That's why
Okay,
the
everybody
question
knew
kept
that Jen
coming
was a
up.
fraud.
That's why the question
Everybody
kept
knew
coming
Jen was a
up.
fraud.
None of them would ever
So
say,
the
but
real villain is production here.
Production.
Always.
It's Eric. Did Eric?
They're innocent.
Eric is not a part of this.
Eric was the part of it. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Oh my gosh. I see people in the chat saying that they think that production knew as well. Okay, Antonio. Oh, sorry, Shantae. Go first. On your thoughts as far as anything about the driving by the house to see if she was drinking and driving. Heather saying she was not iconic. Lisa saying that they brought her on knowing, and your thoughts on whether or not they knew, and just how Monica kind of sealed her fate by saying that, whether it was true or not. What do you think, Shantae?
Well, first off, Angie had me cackling the way she really did ruffle. Like she was trying to hold back her laugh. She almost fell off the couch laughing at Monica's lie because that was just a lie. And when it comes to production knowing, I definitely think that I kind of take their word for it. They in that same interview that I was talking about, they were saying that they didn't know about the reality fan teasing, and actually there's no way to check for them, I guess, who would create a page like that. So they don't know how to safeguard against that in the future either. But if Lisa says she got a whole cybersecurity team that can dig up stuff on Meredith for her, I think that Bravo should look into some more cybersecurity, especially if Andy's saying like, well, this is common for all the housewives. And I remember when Garcelle's son from Beverly Hills, had all those trolls or bots or whatever attacking him. And then she said she hired an investigator, and then Diana said she's going to hire an investigator too. So with all of these things happening, and then the threats getting more and more serious, especially with Garcelle's case, like a minor also, getting attacked, they need to have some kind of cyber arm, to protecting their households. I don't know if it's something that, HR is already doing, because I know a lot of companies do look at like your Twitter, your social media, to see what kind of unsavory things you may have been up to. And it didn't work with Jenny Nguyen, but if regular people can dig up that stuff, why can't Bravo and all their money do that, So I think this is an important issue. And Heather and Andy kind of exposed a weakness in Bravo that I think they should address in the future. But at the end of the day, I think that with Monica, it was good TV. I don't think that they knew. According to the article, they said that it was Heather that came to them with the stuff that she found and she dug up. And I think a lot of her evidence came from Tanisha, because Tanisha is in the page and Tanisha was the page. So I don't know why Heather's still friends with Tanisha, but it is what it is. Bravo can do better. What about y'all? What do you think?
I don't think that her running a fan page is a big deal or worth doing a full background check on. Like, I don't understand what the issue is. Like, I can understand the ladies being upset, like, oh, so you were responsible for posting stuff, but the way that they have spent this reunion and the season acting as if Monica systemically worked to bring each and every one of them down, exposing their deepest, darkest secrets and ruining their lives. It's like, girl, y'all have said worse things about each other on this show completely unprovoked. Monica shared a couple of funny memes and said the word Shrek, and all of a sudden it's like the end of the world. Like, Lisa exposed, again, Meredith sleeping with half of New York. Meredith has been on season after season spilling people's business, spilling, Lisa's tax fraud, the lawsuits, the business filings. Like, these women, the name of the game for them has been trying to take the other person down. So I don't understand why Monica now all of a sudden is this huge. Is she a liar? Absolutely. Is she kind of shady? Absolutely. But like, girl, all of y'all are. Like, all of y'all have done worse things. And at the end of the day, they're still defending Jen. Like, I don't understand how we got on Monica pulling up to Jen Shaw's house as if that has anything to do with them. Like, the lady was a felon. She told you she was trying to dig up dirt on her. Like, at that point, it would have been like, did you find anything good? Like, you should have invited me along. Like, I don't understand what this whole push to try to paint Monica to be a villain for trying to take Jen Shaw down and what that has to do with you when y'all were actively covering up for that woman for 3 years. Like, that's why y'all really are nervous. You don't want her to expose how much you guys knew and how much information y'all probably kept from the authorities. Like, it's the hypocrisy on this is just through the roof. This could have been very much a very frivolous fight. It could have been like, oh, did you hear Monica dropped a gossip page and now everybody's mad? But they've now taken it to this level of like Monica is part of the damn mafia herself, working to make sure each one of them die and they sleep or taking out hits on them or something. Like, it is not that serious. How did we get here?
In regards to the I think with what Monica was trying to say about the FBI, I don't.
They asked me to go over there.
Yeah, I don't think it was like they told her to go over there, but I do think it is a possibility that they may have said, if you have any other evidence, then you can send it or something like that. I think that may have been a possibility. Now, I think that also she just kind of got so wrapped up into taking Jen down, like she was willing to go that extra mile to do it and drive past her house. It was odd that they were like, oh, you were driving past Jen's house, you were a stalker. It's like, so what? Like, this lady, y'all know what this lady did, and clearly y'all knew what she had been doing because y'all kind of admitted to it, at this reunion. So y'all knew what was going on, and y'all were protecting this lady, which is so very odd to me. What else? I forgot what the other parts was, but it really ain't. But I think that Monica, with the whole production thing, I think it's possible that she may have mentioned something about Instagram. Maybe not in depth to production where she kind of told them everything, but I think it is possible that she may have mentioned it. Because I think if there wasn't, Andy, could have ran that tape back and been like, no, well, this was the initial blah, 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 and this is what it said, and there was no mention of it, but that wasn't done. So.
I forgot to start the live on Instagram. Damn.
You can go ahead and start it now.
Damn, I thought it was on.
I have a question for MJ.
Like, what's going on? Let me fix that.
MJ keeps talking about the issue is she's a stalker. She was stalking Jen. Again, what's the issue? What is the issue of her going by Jen's house? What's the issue of her?
If she was stalking those ladies, sure, but I mean, she was just in prison. Jesus,
I'm glad Andy said that. Like, she wasn't.
We was all stalking Jen. We were all stalking Jen last year.
Exactly. She made a good point. She was like, people drive by their ex-boyfriend's house all the time. You stalking their Instagram page. You're seeing what they're doing.
No, we don't.
No,
we don't.
Y'all a damn lie. Y'all are driven by your ex's house. Y'all are absolutely driven by y'all's ex's house.
What's going on?
But again, Monica didn't do anything. She goes, I drove by her house. What's the issue? What am I doing?
Because they were like, well, you didn't have our address. And I'm thinking, well, she probably wouldn't have been able to get Meredith's address because we know she don't really even live in Salt Lake City. But the other lady, she probably, if she was this sinister stalker, Heather, she know where you were. She could have followed you home from. I mean, there were things that she could have done if she would have, if she wanted to get their addresses and really, if she was trying to do something to them. Like Cortez said, I understand that part. But they are bringing up a third party who is now working on, working towards her 365th day in prison. So I don't even know why, she's being discussed or defended.
It's actually it's about to be a year, right?
It's about to be a year in February. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Happy anniversary, Jen Shaw.
Really quickly, I wanted to put this super chat up from our house. It said, y'all know our house love Monica. So our house is so excited. Our house says Monica, but she spelled it Monica. So Monica, not this land. Monica is off my show. Okay. So are you okay? Her
Not
show.
her
The way I
show.
won, I know Monica stands like the tussle, but she's an HR liability. Can have verified stalkers around the talent. Okay, all
Where's
right.
the talent? Who's the talent on the show?
No. This is our house show. So whatever show she's referring to is what the talent is. So thank you, our house, for the super chat.
But come on, y'all. That's creepy that she was looking at her home video surveillance. Like,
It's hers.
I don't know.
She
No,
bought
that is-
it.
I ain't gonna lie,
She-
that-
I
that
know.
is-
I
that
think
is
what's
creepy.
creepy
That's
is
creepy.
telling her put it in your name.
Yeah.
That is weird. That is weird. I ain't
That's
gonna lie. I was
creepy.
like, okay,
It's
so
still weird, but it's weird on both ends. It was like weird all the way around. Like, and
Yeah.
now I'm like, what the hell was Sharif? Like,
Right?
I don't.
I want to know. I want to see what Sharif was walking around the house looking like. I'm trying to see.
But let's say this. Every
Hello?
single person that is in the chat saying Monica was looking at the live feed and all this blog. Y'all were eating up every single video that Jen Shaw got exposed in last year. Y'all were sharing those videos. People were keying about Jen being racist, about Jen throwing things. But where do you think those videos came from? Now all of a sudden everybody wants to act pious, like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. That's wrong. You're such a horrible person. Shut up. Y'all
They
shouldn't be
probably
doing
would
it.
be still living for it if that person, one of the people behind it, wasn't on the show. So
I'm
it's
living
like
for
it's
it
kind of
more.
one of those things where you like, you live for mess, but don't bring it around me. That's my only assumption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one of those things. Like they live for, like, oh, they getting Jen shot, but the moment it's around the group, now they're worried because
Clearly, Angie was living.
yeah,
Angie been living.
Angie was like paragraphs in response.
the moment
Like, yeah, I'm
Angie got
glad you
that
posted
champagne, that brute poured on her head, she was like, you know what? We're probably gonna find out that Angie probably was a part of Reality Bunties in some way. I feel strongly that she was in some capacity. We'll see. And yeah, so shout out to our house for the super chat. And also, I am wearing this lean hoodie. It's cold outside, not over here in LA, but I know it's cold where y'all are. So y'all should
Cold in Atlanta.
go over to the leanofficial.com and pick up your hoodie. Maybe we'll drop a sale soon. We have our first ever cabin retreat coming up, and so maybe we'll put some specials so y'all can get some prepared before it get warmer outside. But it's cold. Get your hoodie. Stay warm with the lean. I'm warm. I'm hot. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm just sweating.
I'm sweating. All right. So next scene is actually we circle back to Angie because Angie has, we've talked about Angie, but not a lot. She's had her moments. She had a few good moments. I think we said last week. Thank you, Art World. It is cute, ain't it? But it's been on the site for like ever. So go buy it. Dang. So they talk about the Greek Mafia thing, and this is when Meredith clears her name and basically saying that it was how they were talking about it was a coincidence. They blamed Meredith and saying that she was the reason why, or the reason that it got out. When really turns out it was really Monica because she brought it on the show. Meredith says everything that she told her, she never actually brought it to the group, and it was actually Monica. So Meredith cleared her name. Angie speaks and just like, listen, I'm not a schemer, I'm not a fraud, and what she tried to do was take me down and ruin my life. And I'm like, is this not what they tried to do to Mary? And is this not what everybody tried to do? Because I mean, going to somebody's church to figure out if the church is real or a cult, is that not a takedown? I don't know. You tell me. And so Meredith, then she speaks again and just basically saying that she never spoke on anything that Monica says. Andy kind of sides with them. Is just like, Monica, you have to know that when you bring it to the show, you can't say that you didn't say it because you did. And so, I like that he's not, you can tell he likes her, but he is kind of holding her accountable. And I think this is more of what we need because usually he's very one-sided. When he don't like somebody, and maybe that's the key thing. When he don't like somebody, he's gonna stay on that person. That's it. They won't get no grace. But he's kind of going back and forth, and which shows that he does like her to an extent. But this is ultimately not up to him, right? So then they talk. Angie makes a comment about you said she said that none of us have filed bankruptcy. And then they talk about her business called Swallow. Now,
Swaddle.
No, a swaddle, like the baby
Swaddle for a baby.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
Get your dirty mind out
well,
the
we see
gutter.
what my mind was. I definitely said, I was like, swallow. What kind of business is this?
Have
Your
you
baby swaddles.
I'm like,
ever been swallowed? Have you
So your
ever
baby
been swallowed?
Swallowed.
Well, clearly, I am weak. I'm sorry. I really thought it was. I literally have swallowed.
These rumors, Cortez.
Stretch that out. These rumors.
I'm sorry, y'all. You know,
Rumors.
clearly, I have my mind elsewhere.
Cortez said, "Wait a minute, swallow. What the hell kind of business is
What
that?
did I
LLC?"
Okay. So Angie, she goes on her whole spiel and basically is saying, like, listen, I'm doing just fine. We don't have any bankruptcy. I'm surviving. I'm surviving and doing just fine. Monica says, well, I'm surviving and doing just fine too, sitting right here, and you're all the way over there on that side of the couch. And she calls her a low brown or low brow rat.
Low brow.
Low
Low
brow.
brow.
She said brow, but I can understand
It
could
sounded
have been
because
taken.
Lisa was still screaming.
Yeah.
And then Angie kind of has that voice, that accent
Yeah.
thing going on. So
Yeah. They get into it. It becomes a whole mess. The ladies are going back and forth. Like literally, Andy is over. This is where Andy is like, please, let's get to this last segment. And I will turn it over to you guys right before I clear up. Yes, we are having a cabin retreat. Not them kind of cabins y'all be going to.
it's gonna be them kind of cabin.
Nah, we don't do that over here. Okay. Okay, what are your thoughts?
Oh my God.
Are we grown as women talking like this?
There ain't no bit of class tonight.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts on everything related to the Greek Mafia, Meredith clearing her name, Angie going back and forth with her with Monica and the swaddle business? Swaddle?
Yeah, swaddle.
Swaddle.
Yeah.
I do remember during the season, Monica showing herself folding up them little knit things, right? I was like, what is that? So
It's an Etsy,
I also,
Etsy business.
yeah, I also am glad that, they hashed out their whole fight of like the business women, because I guess Monica was trying to be a small businesswoman. It doesn't seem like people are getting their orders and stuff, from the last reunion part. But Angie, she actually did well this part of the reunion. I was proud of her because she kept getting Monica together. And then I feel like she did, stand up for herself in terms of, the mafia allegations. And I did enjoy Angie this part of the reunion. And that sewer rat comment, I was like, you can't beat the mafia allegations and call people a rat, because that's totally like, mafia and gang talk with rats and snitches and all that stuff. But it still worked when she did it. And I do want Angie back now, especially now that I know that Monica not coming back. What do you guys think?
I will say Angie. Go, Tonio.
No, I think the mafia comment, the mafia situation, that was kind of far-fetched anyway. It was like, oh, okay, yeah, she's in the mafia. Okay, cool, whatever. I still think that Meredith, I know that Monica definitely brought the stuff to the forefront, but I think that the conversations were a lot deeper with Meredith, and Meredith now wants to let on, because that initially, while Meredith was being so meek and not really defending herself, I don't think it was because she knew that she was innocent. I think that she knew that, I did say, we were talking in depth about some of these ladies. I just think that when the whole Reality of Unteased situation came out and it was like, oh, Monica's behind it, Meredith then had a more of someone to put that on, which was Monica. So it was kind of like, oh, see, y'all was blaming me, and it was probably her the entire time or whatever. So I still think Meredith, had a lot more to say than what she was letting on, because we know that Meredith can go low just like the other ladies can. Angie, I agree, Shantae. I don't mind Angie. I'm okay with her coming back next season. I do like her. She was, to me, teetering a little bit on being a follower. I like, come in, be your own person. Like, don't allow anyone to guide you into who you should like and who you shouldn't like. Like, I don't really like that. And the sewer rat thing, that was kind of cute the first time she did it, but this time it was just kind of like, oh, you said that already. Y'all been sitting there filming now for like 8 hours, and you mean to tell me you couldn't come up with nothing, no new read? That's what you was gonna go with again? No, you can't recycle a read within the same reunion. You got to wait to use that again like some months later. So
that's a callback.
Exactly.
I agree with Tez. Or excuse me, with Shantae. I enjoyed Angie. Angie, whenever she gets into like a groove of stuff, she is enjoyable. She's a good housewife because she can spar. Like, she's got a mouth, and when she's arguing with you, she definitely has a couple of zingers.
And she got the
I
lifestyle.
agree with, yeah. And I mean, she's got an attitude. Has a successful business. She's gorgeous. She dresses well. Angie, I think, is a good housewife. I agree with Tonio. Is she comes in trying to get in wherever she fits in, trying to get in whoever is going to give her camera time. And for somebody that has as big of a personality as Angie, she has the potential to come in and kind of like run the girls. Because she has what a lot of the, I mean, she's got the money that Heather and Whitney don't have. She's got the looks that Heather and Whitney don't have. She's got the fashion and stuff, but she keeps deferring to whoever is just kind of there. And I really have a feeling that if Monica came back, as much as Angie was living for them posts, I really think that Monica and Angie would probably find a way back to being friends, because they're both essentially the same person. They've got a mouth. They can fight with the best of them and argue with the best of them. And with both of them having that proximity to Jen, I never really understood why they were at odds. I mean, I guess because Monica did say that Angie was always kind of like Jen's kind of like little lapdog or whatever. And so I guess there was that, but it was just, I am in complete agreement with Antonio. Meredith absolutely participated in that. We've seen Meredith do that for 3 seasons. There is a reason why every single woman in that group believed Meredith was the one that started that, because like, girl, that's on your resume. Roll the tapes. We've seen it before. So yeah, I don't know. It's there was just so much happening in this episode, and it was so all over the place. But the real meat of it is the next scene. So let's just go ahead and get into that, Cortez.
All right. So the next scene was, again, I always say one of the worst Bravo storylines ever since Lucy. What do they call? What is it?
Lucy Goosey Apple Juicy.
Lucy Goosey Apple, the dog gate from Beverly Hills. I think I would say this is probably the worst. And this segment it solidified that statement because Andy turns to Heather and he's asking her about the black eye, and they show all this little footage and the little white fun with the black background and blah 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 about what happened last year. We know what the hell happened. We saw. We were all teased about this black eye, and then it came on and we was like, WTF, right? So he asked her to explain what happened, and she says a lot of drinks, they were drunk, she woke up and she just knew that it was from Jen. And she said that they showed some footage of Jen coming to her room. There's no audio, but you see Jen coming in, giving her something, and then she just like, oh my God, as if like, oh my God, I did that. And she says, don't worry, I'm a cover. And she says that she's been covering for her for 3 years. So this wasn't the first time she covered, basically alluding to being her accomplice. I'm thinking like, I hope the FBI not watching, because if they see that statement, they may start looking into you in Beauty Lab. I don't know. And this is where I put in words, I do not respect Heather at all, because I feel as though, one thing she led with this season and throughout the season was, being an advocate for bullies. They talked about bullies on this part of the reunion many times. And what she exemplified was basically allowing someone to bully her while also trying to encourage her daughters to not be bullied. And I'm like, you're not making any sense here. And so I'm just like, well, who's the real bully, And so in this moment, they show Jen's message. Didn't Jen's message come like a couple of weeks ago? Actually,
yeah, it was
after the episode.
After that,
but they had already filmed the reunion. So
No,
that
added that in.
Obviously they added it in, but the way he spoke on it's like they knew that she was going to say something, because she was like, well, Jen has responded since. This was filmed before that. This when the reunion trailer aired is when we saw
Oh.
Jen post. So I was kind of confused on how they were
Mm.
able to kind of be Raven Simone to the BS and know that it was she was going to say something. It's a little weird to me, but I don't know. And so Heather says that she made humor out of it. It was pure humor, and Andy's just like, but that's like, why is that humor? Like, why is that funny? And she makes a statement. They talk about how it was even alluded that production was a part of it. They caused it. Basically, how Heather's a horrible person. She's no better than the person she's accusing of being, and whatever which way, like she's really horrible because she covered for somebody while putting other people at risk. And not only just this, but I mean, who the hell knows what else that Jen did that Heather knew? Like, who knows, right? So she leaves by saying that she's now learned that she's a better person, blah blah blah. They asked Monica, about how she felt about it. Monica says that it was hard to watch, and she was going to say she relates to Heather and Angie, but Lisa comes in and is like, "You don't relate to me? I mean, I was almost beat up on the bus," and I'm just like, Lisa, shut up,
Shut up.
my gosh, shut up. Like Lisa has annoyed the most. This reunion is so agitated, and I like Lisa. She's so irritating. Oh my gosh. So after she finally shuts up, Whitney speaks and was like, she feels for Heather, and she understood why she hid it. Which I feel as though they had a conversation before this, and this was all planned as well to further go on, so Heather wouldn't look like she was on an island by herself. Lisa consoles her, and I just put again, this cast is weak as hell. This cast, in terms of entertainment, they've given us great moments, but when you put them next to other franchises, they would never survive. They would never survive some of these things that have actually and they've had some hot things, right? Dish and Shaw, Jenny, but some of these other scandals that have not been even as high on the scale, but has been like more impactful, they would never survive. They would not.
Oh, yeah.
Lisa consoles her, as I said. He asked Heather to give a speech, or what would she say to Jen? And she says, "I am no longer your bitch." And I'm like, yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Now you're mine at this rate. Everybody else is, because everybody who's ever been bullied, you are not an example. I'm sorry. You are not an example. You're not advocating for that. They should have put the sign on the screen that said, "We don't condone bullying." Well, I'm sorry. We do. What is the damn word?
We absolutely condone bullying.
Yes, we absolutely condone bullying. That's what they should have said in this scene. She makes her statement, and she finalizes by saying she's glad that she's in prison. Monica has nothing to say, no apology, no nothing, and that's where the segment ends. Jamie, what do you think?
Heather needs to be fired. So she said all this smoke for Monica, who is a liar, right? We could all agree Monica lied. We could all agree Monica did some shady stuff. Heather, again, is treating Monica like she murdered somebody. Heather put numerous people's jobs on the line when she inferred that production gave her the black eye, and then worked to cover it up and could potentially do that because there was liability. So she opened up those people that were there last year to possibly losing their jobs, to liability insurance claims, to lawsuits. Because she preferred to hide a felon, then she would just say that felon beat her ass. Heather's the worst kind of white woman. She makes all the wrong decisions. She takes a backseat to everybody and then continues to perpetrate those same kind of behaviors to somebody else. And when called out on it, she then uses those tears to get herself out of sticky situations. I've defended Heather in the past for being quite possibly the weakest link on the show. Tonight just showed that the lady really is a miserable, insecure piece of work who needs to be yelling at her therapist and not at Monica, because you let that lady beat you up. You went on a tour lying to people for 2 years, lying about it in your book, lying about it in interviews, lying on your boss, lying on your employers. But you want to have the audacity to sit here and claim that you will never trust a girl who ran an Instagram fan page, who posted other memes about somebody calling you Shrek. Like, girl, you are Shrek. Like, I know Jen Shaw's hand probably hurt after she punched you. Oh, linebacker ass. Let's go.
Ooh, damn.
That just pissed me off so bad. She's such a she's so like, girl, go chew rocks. Yeah, manatee.
Golly. But I mean, it was crazy about the whole Shrek, even the Shrek thing. I mean, like that had come out what season
3 years ago.
2? Yeah, like so. I don't know why she was acting like it's like Jen had already called you that, and you knew that Jen called you that, and now you are, so like distraught that someone posted about it. That is crazy to me. I thought this entire Heather's still lying because she know what happened to cause that black eye, so she is still lying. But I mean, I guess she did give some type of truth. But everybody knew that Jen gave you the black eye. Like, okay, you confirmed it finally, but we all knew it. I didn't even think about how serious it was with her saying all these different theories or humorous, possibilities, as she put it. That people could have really gotten, in trouble, lost their jobs. People could have really been impacted by that. I feel like her feet weren't held to the fire in the way that it should have, because just like Monica has been deceitful and lied, you've done the same thing for just as long as Monica has. So Monica started that page in 2021. This happened in 2021 when you got beat the hell up. So it was crazy to me that they were all so. I understand why you did it. It was like she was and I don't play around with this, but it was like she was in they were in a relationship and she was like abused, like, she was in a domestic violence situation and she was being abused on. That's kind of what I got. Like, you can no longer hurt me and I'm glad you're in prison. I was like, girl,
it was so annoying. I like
DCF, get these things out. Like, it was so bad to me and everybody else. I believe that we got to show that we are banded together and we're sticking together. So it was like, oh yeah, I'm glad you had the courage and I understand why you did it. Like, and it's like, what is Jen like a killer? Does she know? Like, is
she threaten your life?
Look, is Jen part of the mafia? Whereas if you said no, this is what you did, was she gonna come kill you or something? Like, I don't understand. I was so over it, and Monica was just sitting there like,
girl.
Okay.
Contact.
Yeah, Heather's so scary. I didn't like how she kept saying, I was so scared and I'm still scared to tell you. And she was clearly lying, like Tonya said, talking about she don't remember. It's like, you know exactly how your face got blasted. You just don't want to say. So Heather lost so many points. And I'm glad that Andy kind of took her to task a little bit, because I think on the one hand, he was very excited to vindicate, production and their team. But then on the other hand, he was like, all this grace that you want for your lies, why can't you extend this grace to Monica again, And Heather really had a flimsy excuse. She's like, well, I had turned all. Like, no, you blame production. You definitely involved other people, in your cover-up. So you cannot say that, you're very different from Monica, which I really respected Andy for doing. What about you?
Yeah, I you know how I feel. I don't fool with it. I was just ready for it to end, and it's not because they got rid of Monica. She could still be here today. That whole scene was just irritating. It was just like, Jen, she scammed old people. She may have done more, but I don't. They just make it sound like this lady was a serial killer. I mean, like as if they was just so frightened. But
I was so scared, and it's like we done seen y'all argue with this lady and get in this lady's face just as much as she got in yours.
They continued to film with her all the way until she went in the prison, like literally. And and some of them circle back, i.e., Meredith, on the friendship even after not wanting to film with her. So I don't really respect that. I don't really. It's just kind of like,
I agree.
It makes me look at this franchise like y'all ain't gonna make it, in the sense of like when I mean, like I said, they've had some big scandals on their show. But when I look at other things that's happened on other shows, like these women would crumble. They would crumble.
Like they literally visited Jen Shaw before her sentencing. They all band together to go check on her. Letha literally was just asked by paparazzi if Jenny should come back, and she said, "I believe all people should get a second chance." Like, you would much rather give a racist, a prejudiced woman a second chance than you would a lady who ran a fan page who, one, didn't say anything about you on that page. So, like, what is going on? What is going on?
Yeah.
So, like,
they flew to New York to support that lady. Like, stop it.
Yeah. And so after that, they do a little small segment of the warm and fuzzy and prickly. And honestly, everybody's warms were like BS. The pricklies were all related to Monica and how, you know, what happened in Bermuda. She actually said her warm was Bermuda and her prickly was Bermuda. What stood out to me was how we just talked about Jenny when Whitney said that her she was disappointed or something in Monica. Like she said, it was something like that. And I'm like, but you also invited Jenny to your event recently. Oh, so anyway, we see where the anger is. We see how y'all is on that side of the couch. We see y'all. I see. That's fine. So it is what it is. You know what? Whether we here or not for season 5, y'all will know. But as far as me, I'm turned off again. I feel like how I felt leaving season 2, which was season 3. But they don't really mean that we came back, right? So anyway. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and turn the time over to our callers. We got some callers in the queue. This is the last lane for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So, you know, we'll give you guys some time. And you know, just make sure you guys come in, say what you gotta say, and of course, respectfully, okay? All right. So our first caller is going to be Nisha.
Hi.
Hey, Nisha. Hey, Nisha.
Nisha. Nisha.
That's a nice picture.
I know, I love you. You know, I met Nisha when I went to Ohio in the summer. We got a couple. We didn't get no drink. She wasn't drinking, but I was. Are you there?
You know you was, Cortez.
Ain't there?
No, I wasn't. I couldn't drink. My trainer had me on strict.
There we go.
Restriction.
Okay.
But I'm back at it now. Woo, woo, woo.
I know,
right? She's throwing them back, baby.
On Saturday, baby. Fat baby on Saturday. Just one day. But I got a theory about Jen and Heather. I think they were, and that black eye probably came from, you know, Jen is a white refrigerator and Heather is brolic. So they probably were like getting it, you
wrestling.
know.
You said they was wrestling.
Yeah, they was a little tipsy. They had some alcohol, and they probably couldn't get themselves positioned right because of their bodies, you know. And the kick happened, and I got black, and that was that. And she didn't want to go into detail about how everything took place. So she covered for it. It's 2 boxes. You can't get 2 boxes together without, you know.
What kind of boxes are we talking about?
I'm like, no, wait a minute. Okay,
brown moving boxes. Brown moving boxes.
She's saying that they shape like boxes and they're boxes.
Okay.
And they were in a their rooms were really small. So, whatever. But anyway, I don't understand how they are acting like they cannot move forward with Monica when, from what I saw, the snippets of the page that I saw that they were posting on like social media, she wasn't really going in on the girls. It was really about Jen. So why is everybody so upset when Jen literally terrorized y'all from start to finish? She was in the hot seat and still was talking to y'all like shit. She still treated them like gutter trash at every turn, but they supported her until they clanked. Everybody showed up. They were wasn't some of them crying?
Heather.
But Monica is the worst thing you ever came across. I think that they've been watching. My man. Yeah, my man. I don't care what you gotta say about her. That's still gonna be my man. But But they so mad. I think they've been watching the fan reactions and they think that Monica is a favorite and they don't like it.
Yeah.
I
I
agree.
think
I
that's
do
really what
agree.
it is. And they
Yeah.
got their bands together. We know Lisa don't like nobody to be
Top dog.
up here. And
Yeah.
oh my, Lisa is insufferable. Completely insufferable.
She is.
You can literally be like, well, I stubbed my big toe and I can't wear my little. Aren't you going to ask me when the last time I stubbed my toe? She
Right.
is like utterly ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. As far as I'm concerned, they could take the whole entire show off because they all of them are corny. I did kind of like Angie a little bit.
No.
Oh.
I did. I love her big giant stupid glasses. I just like the goofiness about her.
Yeah.
But the show could go for real, because what they about to do now?
I don't know. They're gonna dig up some dirt on each other. The same thing that
I don't want to
They
hear
gonna
no
get
more about Whitney's everything triggering Whitney and making her think about her childhood. I don't want to hear that no more.
Mm-mm. I don't want to see them have sex. I don't want to see none of that.
I don't want none of that. I don't want to. Well, you were yelling at me, and it made me think about when I got left alone when I was 11, and it just really triggered me. I don't want to hear any of that. None of it.
Was
They
that
can
Whitney
go.
voice?
Yeah. I mean, that's all I got to about that. They can go. The whole show can go. It's stupid. It's boring. Blah. We can't make fetch happen. It's over.
Right?
Okay. Well, thank you, Nisha.
Bye,
Okay.
Nisha.
Thank
Good night,
you.
y'all. See y'all. Love y'all. Bye.
I love you, Tanisha.
Bye.
TKC is in the chat telling me to put this comment up to support a federal prison person.
No,
I'm not gonna do
TKC.
that, TKC, because I don't support that. So no, we're not doing that. It was another comment I was gonna mention too, but I can't think what it was. So we're going to get the next caller on. And before we get started, Lisa, yes, I saw your DM. Now, how are you?
I'm doing good. Now let's get started, baby. Doctor, we gonna have time tonight. Jamie, me and you gonna go at it, baby, okay? Because I'm gonna tell you something. Monica ain't nothing but a stock, okay? I got my hands on you, baby. I love you, but I got to tell you like it is, baby. Monica is a stock, okay? Ain't no way Jan told her to put no cameras in the money in her name, okay? Ain't no Jan ain't that stupid, okay? Jan ain't that stupid. Jan may be a little bit stupid. She ain't crazy, okay? She ain't told they want to put no cameras in her house, okay? Okay, that woman did this, so that woman did this. That woman was a stalker. Then she's sitting on the couch. She said, well, the FBI told me to go back see what she drinking and driving. Ain't the FBI gonna tell you no mess like that. Come on now, what that make you come from? And then she had to go back to my chair she had to straighten that lie back up. Okay, that girl was nothing but a stalker. She wanted to be on the Dawn show, and that what she did. She stalked Jan because the other women weren't worrying about her Dawn tail. Okay, she did what she did because she was a stalker. And plus, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something else. And I don't blame her. Let me get the right here. I just believe Monica is a liar. Because if you go back and you read everything else, what Tanisha said, and then one of them other people had said it too. There was another YouTube blogger. They said Monica is a manipulator and a liar.
They all
So
are.
I do not believe nothing that she is saying. She's a stalker. She wanted to be on the show, and she found a way to be on the show, and that's through Jan. She did that. And I'm gonna tell y'all something else too. Jan, I'm gonna tell you, if they make Jan to be the fall guy on this show. This right here. Cause everybody keeps saying, well, yeah, Jan is a volatile place. I used to like Jan. I really did. She make the one and she make the one. Okay, don't come for me. And I still don't believe hell. She hit Heather in her eye. Heather was so darn drunk. She don't know how she got the black eye. They sitting there talking. You cannot hear the audio. You hear Heather on the couch sitting next to when Heather explaining what's going on. What's going on? You cannot hear the audio. Heather explaining what's going on. We still don't. We can't not hear the audio. You understand me? All this stuff right here. And why is we? I don't know why. Why y'all so scared of Mary? I don't know why y'all sitting there, man. Y'all should. That's what I'm saying. Mary made a plea deal with Bravo not to bring all that stuff was on social media. Because I don't know why them women didn't drag her tail for filth while she was on that couch. because her family members all on YouTube telling she's a lie and everything else from her grand uncle, her cousin, her mama, them, they were saying she's a liar. So I don't know why she was there, because I'm just saying, this is me, and I'm gonna tell y'all something else too. Okay, make it plain and simple. Jan, if you go back and you look at Hulu, Hulu got the documentary from ABC News. They investigated. Jan was not frauding people. She was sending information. She was sending people information. The other people on top of the pyramid, that's how it got down to Jan. Because when they came back down to Jan, they really didn't have no information. People like Monica, they really didn't have no information on Jan until they got her assistant. Her assistant it's another documentation about it. Her assistant went more with it than Jan did, but he turned back around. He put everything on Jan. That's how she got it. And plus, Monica, I'm telling y'all something. Monica went to the FBI. The FBI wasn't looking for no damn Monica, and I just believe Monica's a lie. She's a stalker, and I don't blame Heather and them. Like you really did this to this woman. You in trade for her life, and when she didn't treat you like she thought to be treated you start a blog to get back at her. Then you kind of take her down. Because you was her boss and she didn't treat you right. Then you lied on Mary and told everybody, you sit there and you lied on Mary, talking about Angel was a Greek Mafia. Everything I've been telling you, I said something about it didn't make no sense. Did you remember I telling y'all that? I said when she said Mary was doing it, I said, I don't believe that. I said at first I thought it was Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be. I thought, because Lisa said she got private eyes and stuff like that. And plus, y'all do know when Heather had found out about the Von Tees, whatever that mess is, on Instagram, Heather and Lisa got together and they had a private detective. They had a private detective go over everything. That's how they got all that stuff. That's why Heather had all that stuff. And Tanisha had said on the other blogger, because I cannot remember his name. She said she had a bunch of evidence to show Heather that she was not part of. Tanisha was never part. Tanisha said she was never part of that page. She said one of Jen, the other assistants, and her, Jen, other assistant, and Monica and somebody else was part of to start that page up.
Lisa, we got some calls in the queue.
You know I'm telling the truth. You need to do your investigation, Jamie. Do your investigation.
Okay.
Because I be
we're gonna let Jamie do his investigation, and we're gonna have to let you go, okay? Because we got some more calls in the queue. All right. Thank you, Lisa, for calling in today.
Love you, Jamie. You know I love you.
Jamie, do your investigation on the documentation. Okay. All right.
Jamie gotta go on Hulu. Get Hulu, Jamie.
Another baby. Okay. All right. Our next caller is going to be Kristen is a math nerd. Hey, Kristen, how are you?
Good. Slight correction. The video of Lisa talking about Jenny was from 2021. So I know they dug it back up, but I don't know if she's still friends with her or not, but it was from 2021.
Oh,
but,
okay.
I think you're totally right, though. Lisa's a one-upper. She's like one of those people who, like, she's always got to, like, if you won, the blackjack at the casino, well, she hit the slot machine jackpot, like, it's always like something, she's always got to be better. I wish that they had someone who was quick-witted with a sharp tongue on this cast, other than Monica and other than Mary. I really do, because you can definitely tell that these women have lived very vanilla lives, and they've never had to come up against somebody and use their wit to get ahead. They've just never had to do it. And it's really sad, because you can definitely tell, like, their lives have been relatively easy. And because of that, they don't know how to handle people who have actually had to get by nothing but their wits. I think that Heather saved her job because she ate crow and apologized. Otherwise, I think that Heather would have been gone. I genuinely, I think that that's the only reason that she saved her job, because she set production up and then she apologized and she admitted it. I think Monica could have saved her job had she done the same thing. I think if she had shown a tad bit of humility and been willing to eat that humble pie, I think Monica could have saved her job. But honestly, she just kept doubling down and doubling down and doubling down. I have a huge issue with the way that Heather talks about Jen. I don't like Jen as a person at all. I only gave Heather the benefit of the doubt, thinking that maybe she didn't say anything about Jen and the black guy. I thought maybe she didn't say anything because the family's financially devastated and they would have had the bond revoked. They'd have lost the money and those kids would have lost their mother for even longer. That was the benefit of the doubt I gave her. And then she opened her mouth tonight and I was like, oh, you don't deserve it. And but it's the way she talks about Jen. She's talking about Jen like she's aggressive. And I have this white woman talking about a woman of color as if she's constantly aggressive and constantly angry. And I don't like that, because we all saw Jen. Yeah, she does get angry and upset. And, she's very loud and vivacious. I'm not saying that she isn't, but like there's a cultural difference. And you can tell these women never tried to understand those cultural differences at all. But as far as like Monica, I'll say this and then I'm done. I think I just want to set aside like how Monica treated the cast and specifically talk about about the security stuff, because that is, for me, is the big thing. Monica said that it was her account that set up the security cameras inside the Shaw home, and they kind of kept yelling over each other, but she admitted that she was watching the security camera. She was watching the footage. That's how she admitted she downloaded the surveillance footage. And which is awful and illegal. But my thing is also that Jen and Sharif's children were underage at that time. Those boys were in their home, in their private moments, walking around. I have a teenage son, and I know that he walks around in his underwear. So, like, are you telling me that this woman was looking at this video footage of someone else's children potentially walking around the same way my son does in the middle of the night or late at night? Like, this woman was looking at someone else's children in their private moments, and that's like, that we're just going to like gloss over that, because that's sick. Like, that's some predatory stuff to try to be so desperate to set up your friend / boss who never paid you because you were an intern / assistant to like that's predatory. She was willing to spy on actual children in order to set up Jen. And like who knows what Jen and Sharif were talking about? I mean, they could have been, enjoying the kitchen counters for all we know. And she was watching. Like, that's it's just sick.
So do you think that Jen possibly didn't know that Monica had set up the cameras?
I think there's a possibility that Jen had her set up the account, but I don't think Jen was like, put it in your name and give yourself access on your phone.
No,
like, because I
may have been watching. Okay.
Yeah, gave herself a back door. Yeah, exactly. Like, I could fully see somebody like having their assistant like, hey, I've got security cameras going in, like, set up the account for me so we can, have this taken care of. I can fully see that. That makes sense, because Jen had a ton of assistants who did all sorts of stuff for her. I mean, honestly, I'm not really sure what Jen ever actually did except steal money from people and, buy fake Louis Vuitton. But like, so for me, like, that's like, I just can't get past that, because I have kids and like, I cannot imagine ever wanting to work with someone who is so desperate to get on television that they would spy on someone else's children and say, well, I wasn't really looking. I just wanted the footage of their mom. Like that for me is just something I can't get past.
Understood. I understand that.
Yeah.
Jamie, are you talking to us?
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Are you? You're on me, right? Okay. Jamie is talking to himself, guys. I think he may be a little weird too.
That's why they said Lisa ate me up.
Oh, now we can hear you.
No, I'm joking. I understand what you're saying, but it's also a hypothetical. Monica said she reviewed the footage. She didn't say how much. But again, that part aside, what does that have to do with the page and what the ladies are upset about?
Oh, no, it doesn't.
So,
yeah,
like,
no,
is
totally.
Monica gross for that? Absolutely. Monica's weird as hell. And if the FBI or the local authorities or even Jen, Coach Shaw, want to bring
charges
against her, they are well within the right. And baby, we can't say anything because you implicated yourself on TV. That's something you got to deal with. That is the consequences of your actions. But the way Heather and all of them are going on, it's like, girl, that doesn't have anything to do with you. Like that literally has nothing to do with you.
I would be happy if we never talk about Jen Shaw ever again. Like, I don't care. Why are we talking about this woman who has been gone for like 18 months? Like, come on. Do you have nothing else going on in your life? Like, come on. Like, why is it that when Mary looked at Heather and said, and Heather was like, do you really think, I look like incest? And Mary was like, I do. Why did Heather not immediately go, bitch, you married your grandpa?
That could be, you know what? And I got one more caller in, Chris, I got to go, but that speaks to this whole thing as to why me personally, I don't understand why she's so selective. She's focused on one thing. There's she gets so many strays from Mary, from Whitney. Let's go back to Lisa literally having Mad Day and spilling all of Meredith's tea. Like, who would want to be friends with somebody like that? I mean, come on. She literally spread all this lady. If it's not. So it's just Heather is so selective. But I did
forget to tell you guys though, Bravo Docket did confirm that Monica is nowhere in the legal documents of the Jen Shaw prosecution. None of the evidence, no affidavits, no witness statements were turned over, nothing. So there's nothing in federal court showing that Monica ever did anything to help put Jen Shaw away. So there's that. And also somebody said today, I think it was Ryan Bailey, but don't quote me on it, that they hired a woman who for next season, who is so rich, she makes Dorit Kemsley look like a pauper. I'm not sure how that's possible because I don't think Dorit has any actual money. I think all her Versace is fake too, but she's just saying. Yeah, exactly. But
twice.
Yeah, I think she's like, I think Dorit is like shopping a little too much from DHgate, on the app, but nonetheless. So, okay, I'll let you guys go. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you. And thank you for calling in season 2, okay? We appreciate it.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Kristen.
One last caller, you guys. We're going to get out of here. This is our last one, so we want to make sure we get everybody in. Let's go ahead and get him in. And it's Sir Capricorn who celebrated their birthday last week. How was your birthday?
Happy belated birthday!
Thank you. I
Happy
appreciate
birthday.
What you got for us?
So I just want to because I was on X, formerly known as Twitter, and I came across Mad Beefs, and they gave a list of Monica Garcia's achievements in her one season. And I just want to say, like, Variety reported this was the highest streamed season of the show, which is like, obviously we watched it because of this whole drama situation with Monica. And Monica actually laid, what I like about Monica is that she actually laid her life out there, and she she put everything out there, for herself. Like, even the situation with her mom, like, that's her real life. Like, she put it out there. Then they even talked about that. Like, that's something that she didn't have to, she had to show, but she showed it. Because again, like, what these shows, people forget these shows are about. It's about following the reality. Yeah. And she actually showed her reality. Her reality was that this stuff she did. She slept with her brother-in-law, her sister-in-law's husband. And she put that out there. She's going through all this. She went through a horrible divorce. She put all that out there. She goes through that stuff with her mom. She put it out there. Also, the show was shouted out by T-Mobile, Max, Megan Thee Stallion, Los Angeles Times. She's also been rated the #1 newbie by Vulture. She got first seat next to Andy at the reunion as a newbie. Newbies rarely do that. She did all this as coming in hot as a newbie. So we got to give Monica her props for that. And what I hate is that what happens is we get rid of these awesome one season wonders like Monica, Noelle, and Dr. Tiffany.
Tiffany,
You got people that skate around like Gina and Robin Dixon, and they give us the same dry storylines every season with nothing. The situation with Heather and the Black Eye, I don't think Heather would have ever told the truth had it not been discovered that Monica was had the blog.
Yeah.
She would have still been covering for Jen.
Absolutely.
And the whole thing with Lisa Barlow and how she must love it. like the whole thing with her, like saying that she can't film with Monica, but she wants to bring this alleged racist. Well, no, she said some racist stuff, and she threw a glass at that lady. She wants to bring. She said she's fine with her getting second chances. Like that's doesn't make sense to me. But for what I want to say is that Monica made the season what it was. I don't know what we're gonna look for coming to season 5. Heather was just on Watch What Happens Live. They actually said what Andy said was that Monica was taking a break from the show. So he didn't say she was actually fired, said she was taking a break.
Yeah.
So we don't know what that entails. Either she was taking a break or because usually he would say she was put on pause, but we don't know what's happening. But for the most part, this was the best season for me. And it sucks that one of the greatest reasons why we watch the season is not going to be on next season. So it's going to be difficult to see how the aftermath of everything works out. Just like I kind of related to season 10 of Housewives of Atlanta. Like had Portia not come back, had Portia and Phaedra both not come back, how were we going to, see how everybody moved on from that situation? And I mean, it's still kind of iffy because Phaedra didn't get to come back and actually have that sit down with Candy and give us what we needed for that. So, but it's going to be weird how we see season 5 work out. But I'm looking forward to watching and seeing how it goes. But yeah, it was a good season. I like Mary. Obviously, Mary went out with a bang as always, and I hope she comes back in some form of capacity, even though she's not going to have her good girlfriend there with her. So it'll be, a journty. But thanks for having me again. You guys have a wonderful night.
You too. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
That was Sir Capricorn coming on with the facts, and that's very true. Monica's definitely, if she doesn't come back, I think she should be proud of herself.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I mean, she came and shook some shit up. She really did.
Okay, guys. It's just unfortunate because the fans were tired of Salt Lake City by season 2. Like this show was draining. It was a drain to recap it, to watch it, and her and Mary coming back definitely put new life and a new spin on this. And now we've got the same women that we were all tired of seeing on our TV screens together.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep. Maybe they'll bring Angie H back. Meow.
The original person, the original Finsta.
It is late in Atlanta. I'm not in Atlanta, but some of you guys are. Antonio needs to get to bed. I know he needs to. So we're going to go ahead and let y'all go. Make sure y'all like this video and subscribe to the channel. It's been fun. Chad cannot be here, as I mentioned, but he's also part of this panel. Shout out to Chad for being here. Shout out to Jamie, Shantae, and Antonio. It's been a fun, wild ride. This is the last show. So the lean is not going anywhere. We just won't be here for Salt Lake City going forward. So that means that Married to Medicine will now be moving to its old original slot, which is at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. So you can catch them
Eastern.
Eastern. That's not time. 8:30 Eastern PM time on Tuesdays in Salt Lake City. The rest of the shows will remain the same. And it's just good that this has been as I always say, it's been a very busy season for the lean, but we're actually coming down that hill as many of these shows are coming to an end. Reunions are being filmed. Miami just filmed. Beverly Hills is filming soon. Potomac, Married to Medicine. They're all filming these weeks. So that means that we're almost at the end, y'all. We didn't made it through a crazy season of
barely.
You made it. You look a little tired.
Hold on now.
Oh, hold on now. I thought I was so sorry. But thank y'all for watching. Like and subscribe. Make sure y'all check out theleanofficial.com. Pick up your merch, mugs, his hoodie. And yeah, just keep supporting us. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next time. Okay. Y'all have a good night.
Peace.
And peace. Thank y'all for watching.